Greetings, my name is Nur Safina binti Muhammad Zahari and my ID number is SIB 2502025. And today I'm going to present about the price elasticity of demand. So the purpose of price elasticity of demand is to help businesses and governments to make informed decisions by measuring how a product's quantity demanded responds to a change in its price. Businesses use this information for pricing strategies and revenue optimization, while governments use it for setting taxes and subsidies. For question 1, suppose the quantity demanded for a good increases from 80 units to 120 units when the price decreases from RM20 to RM15. Using the formula, calculate the consumer's price elasticity of demand. Show all your workings. Okay, this is how to make use of the calculation formula for price elasticity of demand. So, elasticity of demand is equal to new quantity demand minus with original quantity demand, and then you need to divide it with the original quantity demand, and then you need to weigh it first, then you move on to original price divided with new price, and then minus with original price. And then after you get the answer for the first calculation, you need to multiply it with the second calculation, and then that's the answer for the elasticity of demand. For this question, the QDO is 80, the QD1 is 120. Meanwhile, for PO is 20 and P1 is 15. First, you need to minus 120 with 80, and then you need to divide it with 80, and then you need to multiply it with 20 over 15 minus 20. And then you will get negative 2 as the answer, but for price there is no negative, so you need to put modulus to neutralize the negative, so the final answer will be 2. As you can see, this is a flatter slope of demand curve because there is a change in the price of the goods that cause a bigger percentage change in quantity demanded. For question Roman 2, is demand for this product elastic, inelastic, or unitary elastic? So the answer is the demand for this product is elastic because price elasticity of demand is 2, which is higher than 1. This shows that consumers are highly responsive to changes in price. A small decrease in price leads to a proportionally larger increase in quantity demanded. Hence, the product has an elastic demand. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Kamila binti Kamar Zaman and I'm from the IB1C. I will explain about question 2. So basically, question 2 is about cross price elasticity of demand. So here's the question. The quantity demand for good A decreased from 300 unit to 240 unit when the price of good B increased from 10 to 40. I will explain about from using the formula. I will calculate consumer price elasticity of demand. So first of all, we need to know the formula. The formula is the second quantity minus the first quantity and divided with the first quantity and multiple with the first price and divided with the second price and minus with the first price. Based on the sentence, we know that the second quantity is 240 and the first quantity is 300, while the first price is 10 ringgit and the second price is 40. We need to add that number to our formula. 240 minus 300 divided with 300 multiple with 10 divided with 40 and minus 10. Final answer is 0.5 and it's inelastic. In the first question of question 2, I made a graph. This graph shows that when price decreased from 40 to 10 ringgit, quantity unit decreased from 200 to 300 units. For last question, is good B a substitute or complement to a good A? Explain your choice. This is my answer. Yes, good B substitute because it's more than 0. When price of good A increase, the demand for good B increase. This means consumers switch from A to B because they serve similar purpose. For example, coffee and tea, they show both goods satisfy the same need or want. Based on the formula I provide, 0 is substitute. That means other than 0, it's still substitute except minus. If the answer is minus 0.5, then it's not substitute. But the answer here is 0.5, so it's substitute. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Adam bin Muhammad Nasir, SIB 250202113. So for today, I will give you the answer for my question number 3, which is income elasticity of demand. Moving on, my first question number 3, Roman number 1, which is luxury goods have income elasticity of demand greater than 1. Explain this statement. Luxury goods have income elasticity of demand because the relationship between income and quantity demanded of goods is positive, and the income elasticity of demand is greater than 1. This happens because when consumers' income is increased, their demand for non-essential goods will also increase. As you can see, I already put my formula for income elasticity of demand, which is income elasticity of demand equals to percentage change in quantity divided by percentage change in income. Or we could calculate it like quantity 1 minus quantity 0 divided by quantity 0 times income 0 divided by incomes 1 minus income 0. Let me show you the example for my calculation for income elasticity of demand through my question number 3, Roman number 2, which is suppose that when Siti's income increases from Rm 30,000 to Rm 45,000 in a year, she increases the number of handbags she buys in a year from 5 units to 12 units. What is her income elasticity of demand? As you can see, I already put my classification of her quantity and her income to calculate her income elasticity of demand. Let's go and calculate her income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand equals to 12 minus 5 divided by 5 times 30,000 divided by 45,000 minus 30,000 equals to 7 divided by 5 times 30,000 divided by 15,000 equals to 1.4 times 2 equals to 2.8. So for her income elasticity of demand is 2.8. As you can see, I already put my graph below my classification of her quantity and her income. Let's go on to my third question, which is based on this information, explain the type of this product. Based on my calculation and my information, her income elasticity of demand product will be luxury good because income elasticity of demand is greater than 1. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Adu Aiman, and today I'll be presenting on my part, which is price elasticity of supply or PES. The formula I'll be using for this question is Q1 minus QO over QO multiples PO over P1 minus PO. So now let's move on to our first question. For the first question, when the price of good X increases from 200 to 300, the quantity supplied increases from 100 units to 250 units. By following the formula, 250 minus 100 over 100 multiples by 200 over 300 minus 200 equals to 150 over 100 multiples by 200 over 100. This will find us the PES of 3, which is above 1, that resulted in elasticity. So the change in quantity supplied was much bigger than the change in price. That's why the elasticity is high. So this tells us that producers were able to respond strongly to the price increase. The flatter supply curve represents a big movement compared to the price rose in the graph. Now for the second question, when the price of good Y increases from 400 ringgit to 480 ringgit, the quantity supplied increases from 200 units to 240 units. By referring to the formula of this calculation, which is 240 minus 200 over 200 multiples 400 over 480 minus 400 equalized to 40 over 200 multiples 400 over 80. This will get us a PES of 1, which is unitary elasticity. This unitary elasticity is caused by the change in quantity matches the change in price change proportionally. This tells us producers were able to adjust, but only in the line with the price change. The upward sloping supply curve on the graph shows this proportional relationship. The third question, When the price of good Z increases from 600 ringgit to 700 ringgit, the quantity supplied increases from 500 units to 510 units. By the formula, which is 510 minus 500 over 500 multiples 600 over 700 minus 600 equals to 10 over 500 multiples 600 over 100, they'll get us a PES of 0.12 of inelastic elasticity. This inelastic elasticity is caused by supply barely increase. This usually happens because of limit productions. So the graph is steep, meaning price changes a lot but quantity barely moves. That's all for me. Thank you.